Alright, this will be a quick tutorial on how to set up SavvyCAN and capture some traffic and send it out as well. So open up here. I've got two devices connected, one GVRET, one SocketCAN. So GVRET's the only thing on a serial port. Set that up at 500 kilobits. SocketCAN, you use the name minus /dev/ so, and it is case sensitive, so the SocketCAN device I have is CAN 0. So now all the buses are connected. Easiest way to get some data to demonstrate is to load up a capture file. So we'll go here, CAN captures, Coda charger. Oh, it's the wrong type. Alright, well, let's go here. New Park Drive 0316. So I loaded up some messages. It shows up here that I'm connected to 3 buses and what file I loaded. Over here, CAN filtering, you can set none and then just look at a couple different frame IDs or set them all. So when you capture data, that's what it's going to look like, is data in here, which direction we received this, which bus it was on. So data comes in. Easiest way for playback to playback frames that you've captured is to come in here. You can set load capture data. Playback speed, this is kind of a timer. Every time it ticks, we'll send a new frame. Operating systems aren't always great at setting the correct speed, but you can usually get pretty close to the speed you have set here. So I've got the captured data. You can actually chain up things here. So I could play the captured data and then this, and loop that sequence between this and this over and over if I wanted to. Come up here. This is playback 1 file. I'll clear this out, make it a little easier. Play back the last frame, pause, play backwards, stop, play forwards, and play back forward 1 frame. So if I want to just send 1 frame at a time, come in here and click that button. See that it's actually showing up 2 every time because I've got buses connected together between the 2 dongles. So I send here and receive on the other dongle. Buses 0 and 1 are the GVRET device, and 2 is the SocketCAN device. So basically you can see that GVRET was successfully sending to SocketCAN every time. Or I can go play forwards here, where I have the frames going between each bus. So that's playback forward with 5 millisecond intervals. I'll try to go here to 1. You'll see that the operating system's not really great at that. But with burst rate, you can send more than 1 frame every time the timer ticks. So we can go in there and get a little better performance. So now I've got up to about 3,000 frames per second between sending and receiving. And you can see there that it actually just popped through the captured data all the way through, and then went to drive July 19 all the way through. And because I have loop sequence set, we went back to the beginning again, so it'll just keep doing that. ID filtering, if you don't want to send every frame, you can turn some of them off, deselect them all, select them all. Same basic idea as the main capture window. So it would be the same thing. You can only send certain frames if you want to. Now I had left, let's pause this a second, I had left selected from file where these files all said that they came in on bus 0, so we sent on bus 0. But you can also send on any other bus you want, or send on all simultaneously, which will probably be a little hard on your computer, but it's possible to do. So I would have got the same basic output here if I had selected send to bus 0 because they all came in on bus 0. So same thing, we're transmitting. There's a bit of buffering that goes on in the reception system so that we don't have to update the GUI so often. So you'll see that it shows a whole lot of transmissions and then a whole lot of receptions when you're going this kind of rate. But the timestamps will still be pretty much the correct thing. So that's how you would send and receive traffic, how you could send out traffic that you've previously captured. You can either just directly load up a file or send the captured data here. The captured data is freeze framed, so you can see even though I have a whole lot of frames captured, this always stays at the 27,000 that I originally had loaded when I clicked capture or load captured data. So that's just a frozen in time number of frames that were captured at that time. So you can clear this out at any time. It won't mess up the captured data here. So that's the end of this tutorial for starting up SavvyCAN, getting it initially set up, and loading or transmitting some frames.